Hello everyone, this is the third lecture on study of the compounds, and in this lecture we are going to discuss ammonia. So first of all we will discuss about occurrence of ammonia in nature. So ammonia can occur in nature in free state as well as in combined state. So in free state the ammonia is found in atmosphere and sometimes in water in traces. So a very small amount of ammonia is found in nature in free form. But if we talk about in combined state, so ammonia can be found in the form of its salt like ammonium sulfates or ammonium chloride, etc. So the ammonia can be found in free as well as in combined form in nature. Now if we talk about the preparation of ammonia, first of all we will talk about laboratory preparation. So in laboratory we can prepare ammonia from ammonium chloride as well as from metal nitrites. So if we talk about the preparation of ammonia from ammonium chloride, you can see the figure here. So from ammonium chloride we can prepare ammonia by reaction of ammonium chloride with alkali like calcium hydroxide. So if ammonium chloride is heated with calcium hydroxide, then it will form calcium chloride, water, and it will liberate ammonia gas. So let's see the whole process. This is the diagram. So a mixture of ammonium chloride and calcium hydroxide is heated and moist ammonia gas is formed. Now this moist ammonia gas is dried by quicklime in drying tower. So this is drying tower. The moist ammonia which is produced is passed to the drying tower, and in drying tower the ammonia is dried by quicklime. So quicklime is present in drying tower. Now the question comes, can we use the compounds like sulfuric acid which are drying agents, or phosphorus pentoxide or calcium chloride as drying agent for ammonia? So can we use these compounds to dry ammonia? The answer is no. Why? Because these compounds combine with ammonia and form some other compounds. For example, if you will use sulfuric acid as drying agent, what will happen? Ammonia will react with sulfuric acid and it will form ammonium sulfate. Similarly, if you will use phosphorus pentoxide to dry ammonia, it will form ammonium phosphate, and if ammonia is dried with the help of calcium chloride, it will form an addition product. Therefore, we cannot use sulfuric acid or phosphorus pentoxide or calcium chloride. So remember, the compound which is used as drying agent to dry ammonia is calcium oxide. Now the next is collection. Once the ammonia is dried, so ammonia is dried by passing the moist ammonia through quicklime, and here we will get dry ammonia. So dry ammonia is collected by downwards displacement of air. Now the density of ammonia is very small as compared to the density of air. So therefore the ammonia gas is very light as compared to that of air. So if we pass ammonia in a container, what will happen? Ammonia will displace the air from the top and it will displace the air downwards. So this is known as downwards displacement of air, because ammonia is lighter than air. So ammonia will move upward while it will displace the air. So this process is known as downward displacement of air. So this is how ammonia gas is collected. So hope you have understood this method. The next method is quite similar. So in this method we will use a metal nitride. Now metal nitrides can be prepared by burning the metals in the atmosphere of nitrogen. For example, if magnesium is heated with nitrogen, it will form magnesium nitride. Similarly, if aluminum is heated with nitrogen, it will form aluminium nitride. Now when nitride and magnesium nitride is formed, it reacts with water to form magnesium hydroxide and ammonia gas. Similarly, aluminum nitride reacts with hot water and forms aluminum hydroxide and ammonia. So this is the figure, this is the diagram for the preparation of ammonia from metal nitride. So you can see the warm water is used here and magnesium nitride is kept in a vessel, and when the warm water is added to magnesium nitride, this reaction will take place here. So moist ammonia gas will be formed. So moist ammonia gas which is formed here will pass to drying tower. After the process is same. So in drying tower there is quicklime. You know what happens when the ammonia is passed through quicklime. The quicklime is a drying agent, so it will dry ammonia, and dry ammonia is collected by downwards displacement of air. So this is the whole process of preparation of ammonia in laboratory. So these are two methods of preparation of ammonia in laboratory. The next topic is manufacture of ammonia. So the preparation of ammonia in industry. So this process is known as Haber's process. So ammonia can be prepared in industries by Haber's process. So this is an easy process of manufacture of ammonia. In this process we use nitrogen and hydrogen, which are the constituent elements of the ammonia. So nitrogen and hydrogen gas are used under favorable conditions. It will form ammonia. Now the question is, what are favorable conditions? So you have to remember about three things. One is temperature. So temperature is about 450 to 500 degrees Celsius. So temperature is not very high, but high pressure is used, that is about 200 to 900 atmospheric pressure, and we will use some catalyst also, and the catalyst that is used here is iron. So iron is used as catalyst, and molybdenum. Molybdenum is used as promoter. So basically the promoters are the chemical substances or the substances which are used to enhance the performance of catalyst. So molybdenum helps iron to increase the rate of reaction. So catalysts generally increase the rate of reaction. So therefore to increase the rate of reaction we have to use iron as catalyst, and to improve the performance of iron we will use molybdenum. So you have to remember about these three things. So this is the whole layout of the manufacture of ammonia. So you can see hydrogen and nitrogen gas are used for preparation. So first of all we have to achieve this pressure of 200 to 900 atmospheres. So for that we will use a compressor. So hydrogen and nitrogen gas is passed to a compressor. Then from this compressor we will pass the gas or the mixture of gases, that mixture of nitrogen and hydrogen, to catalytic chamber. So it is generally electrolytic catalytic chamber. So the mixture of hydrogen and nitrogen is heated here, and this catalytic chamber also consists of iron and molybdenum. So the catalytic chamber has iron and molybdenum in it. So the chemical reaction nitrogen and hydrogen to form ammonia will take place in catalytic chamber. Now the ammonia formed is passed through refrigerating column. So there are some cooling pipes through which ammonia gas is passed, and then ammonia is cooled in these pipes. Now suddenly the pressure is reduced, since we know that the pressure is about 200 to 900 atmospheric pressure in catalytic chamber. So pressure is reduced and the ammonia gas is liquefied, and we will collect the liquid ammonia. So this is very easy process because temperature is already very low. If the pressure is also reduced, the temperature will also decrease suddenly, and therefore we will get liquid ammonia. So here we get the liquid ammonia. Now unreacted nitrogen and hydrogen, because we know that if the reaction will take place, not whole nitrogen and hydrogen will convert to ammonia. Some molecules of nitrogen and hydrogen will be there which will not react to form ammonia. So the unreacted molecules of nitrogen and hydrogen, they are in gaseous form. So they are passed with the help of a pump again to the compressor, and then compressor will compress these gases, and again the same process will take place. So unreacted nitrogen and hydrogen is again passed back to the compressor. So this is the whole process of manufacture of ammonia. So there are three processes that we have studied, two for the laboratory preparation and one for the industrial preparation of ammonia. So this is all in this lecture. If you have any queries, you can ask your questions in comment section. Thank you very much.